Dan, talk about a conspiracy theory.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 biggest conspiracy theories in pop culture history.
I knew it! I'm taking it to TMZ.
For this list, we'll be looking at some of the most prevalent conspiracies surrounding celebrities and pop culture. We're not saying any of these are true. They're probably not. Just that a lot of other people have. What are some of your favorite pop culture conspiracy theories? Let us know in the comments. Number 10. Lewis Carroll was Jack the Ripper.
The murders shocked the Victorian world with their brutality, and the world's most famous serial killer came into being.
In 1888, a mysterious man known as Jack the Ripper terrorized the city of London with a series of gruesome murders. Because of the time that has since elapsed, many experts believe identifying the man today is near impossible.
The police investigation, generally speaking, was handled as well as it could be. It's difficult to know what else they could have done. They basically just did everything that they possibly could, but there were no clues.
However, some believe the murderer might have been beloved author Lewis Carroll. In 1996, a man by the name of Richard Wallace published a book whereby he claimed Carroll and a colleague of his were responsible for the attacks. The theory has stuck around for quite some time, and you might never watch Alice in Wonderland the same way again.
Nothing's impossible.
Number 9. Solange is actually Beyoncé's daughter.
I'm proud to be her sister. Y'all give it up. I love her very much. Solange.
Beyoncé has been involved in numerous conspiracy theories over the years, the most famous being that her sister, Solange, is actually her daughter. This theory originated from multiple unconfirmed sources, claiming Beyoncé's real birth date is September 4th, 1974 instead of 1981. According to an anonymous person online who claimed to have worked at Beyoncé's Columbia record label, Beyoncé fell pregnant at around the age of 13. Because of the circumstances, the baby was then raised by her parents as Beyoncé's sister. This would mean the hit singer is in her late 40s at the time of this video, and would make Solange's son, Daniel Jules J. Smith Jr., Beyoncé's grandson. Number 8. Katy Perry is actually a grown-up JonBenét Ramsey.
Blink twice if you're really JonBenét Ramsey.
Wait, no, that is not real.
One of the more tragic events of the 1990s was the mysterious murder of child beauty queen JonBenét Ramsey.
The mystery around it is capturing worldwide attention. Reporters from Australia are in Boulder. British newspapers and television are carrying the story, and the tabloids will too in their next editions. In yet another unusual twist in this unusual and tragic case.
Due to the striking resemblance, and because the murder was never solved, people online have bought into a conspiracy theory stating that singer Katy Perry is actually a grown-up Ramsey. The theory was first introduced when someone published a video online describing how Ramsey's parents sacrificed her old identity in order for her to become famous. However, there's tons of evidence of Perry as a kid and teenager, so this theory doesn't really hold up. It's a bit eerie to think about how some people's brains work, though. Number 7. Nicolas Cage is a vampire. After a photo of a man from 1870 circulated online, people couldn't help but notice the striking resemblance that the man had to actor Nicolas Cage.
What?
This prompted fans to believe he must be a vampire, because what else? The theory became so widespread, Cage actually addressed it on The Late Show with David Letterman. Although not the first celebrity to be deemed immortal, the interaction is hilarious nonetheless.
Let's see that again, because there are some similarities.
But it's slowed down.
Yeah.
Knowing Nicolas Cage isn't secretly a vampire definitely lets us sleep a bit easier, but maybe that's what someone who drinks blood would want us to think.
I'm a vampire! I'm a vampire! I'm a vampire! I'm a vampire! I'm a vampire!
Number 6. Stephen King killed John Lennon. A man by the name of Steve Lightfoot originally made the claim that former US President Richard Nixon and then President-elect Ronald Reagan had author Stephen King murder John Lennon.
How can I help you?
The motive was supposedly to stop Lennon's anti-war influence at the time, even though the Vietnam War had ended 5 years prior.
So I'm still for peace, peaceful revolutionary, but I'm an artist first and a politician second.
Although there are mounds of evidence pointing to Mark David Chapman being the killer, conspiracy theorists continue to point fingers at the CIA and other US intelligence agencies. If the US government wanted to assassinate someone, though, we doubt they would hire a novelist. Number 5. Walt Disney's body is cryogenically frozen.
He built a media and entertainment company that stands as one of the most powerful on the planet.
The idea that the Disney company froze the body of Walt Disney is an old one, but it still persists today nonetheless. After his death in 1966, theories emerged that the company had cryogenically frozen him in order to revive him in the future. Some believe Disney's body is frozen under the Pirates of the Caribbean ride at Disneyland, while others think it may be stored at a top-secret facility. The purpose of this? We aren't exactly sure.
Is Great Uncle Walt frozen underneath the Pirates of the Caribbean ride?
He is not. We don't have him in an ice cube tray in the freezer, and no, not frozen. Was at the funeral, remember it well. No, not frozen.
One thing's for certain, though, the company doesn't need to reanimate him, because they aren't exactly struggling without him.
Let it go, let it go. I am one with the wind and sky.
Number 4. Princess Diana was murdered.
The reports are that Diana has been killed. Dodi Fayed also died, as did the driver of the car.
The death of Princess Diana made headlines around the world and was one of the biggest stories of the 1990s. Many have since theorized that the royal family, by way of MI6, purposely had the princess killed and staged the incident to look like a crash.
For many, the idea that she could have been killed in an accident seemed impossible. Immediately, rumors began to grow that there had to be more to it. There had to be a conspiracy.
The motive for this would be due to Diana's supposedly being pregnant at the time with Egyptian film producer Dodi Fayed's child. Many believe that this was something the monarchy privately disapproved of.
The problem? In 2008, after 6 months of reviewing every piece of evidence during a formal inquest into Diana's death, no evidence was found that she was pregnant, or engaged, or, of course, murdered.
Although there isn't actual evidence for this, the fact that Fayed's father expressed his support for the theory doesn't give us much comfort. Number 3. Many celebrities are in the Illuminati. Over the ages, people have accused tons of different celebrities of being members of the Illuminati, despite the actual Illuminati dying out in the late 1700s.
Apparently there's this group, I don't know, called the Illuminati, who are behind the scenes governing everything, running all the top businesses, running all the top organisations, and evidently this shadowy organisation are communicating through Susan Boyle's Ice Bucket Challenge.
Famous singers like Madonna, all the way to former US President Donald Trump have been accused. Although the Illuminati might be defunct now, secret societies do still exist, and it's no surprise speculation has swirled around them for decades.
But some conspiracy theorists claim that Beyoncé and husband Jay-Z are the reigning king and queen of this centuries-old organization.
While these societies are most likely just networking clubs for the ultra-rich, we can't help but wonder if they're truly something more sinister. And as long as they're around, it's safe to say these theories aren't going anywhere anytime soon.
For years now, talk show hosts, people on television, people in sitcoms have been hired by the government to throw you off the track, to distract you, to make you laugh and stuff like that, make you happy and docile so you don't know what's really going on.
Number 2. Stanley Kubrick directed the faked moon landing.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
The 1969 moon landing is subject to one of the biggest conspiracy theories of all time. But many who indulge in this notion believe the videos of the faked landing were directed by Hollywood mogul Stanley Kubrick. Kubrick often added hidden themes and messages in his films, which fans have no doubt held a microscope to. From the Apollo sweater in The Shining to directing 2001: A Space Odyssey right before Apollo 11, the infamous director definitely added fuel to the fire, whether unintentionally or not.
Now, I'm sure you're all aware of the extremely grave potential for cultural shock and social disorientation contained in this present situation, if the facts were prematurely and suddenly made public without adequate preparation and conditioning.
The conspiracy theory has even made its way onto the Joe Rogan Experience, with the clip alone having over 1 million views on YouTube.
Were you ever on the in the camp of the moon landing was fake?
For years.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of my favorite all-time conspiracies.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Elvis Presley is still alive. There are a plethora of conspiracies surrounding the deaths of celebrities, but none are more prevalent than the one about the king of rock and roll himself. Entire forums online are gung-ho that the famous singer faked his own death in order to live a life of peace and quiet. Presley was born in 1935, though, and would be in his late 80s at the time of this video. While not impossible, the chances of this legendary vocalist still being alive are next to none. For many, however, that doesn't entirely rule out him living the rest of his days undercover, or the FBI helping fake his death for reasons unknown.
And of course, there have been tabloid sightings of Presley as well. Most of those are quite humorous to everyone except those who were closest to Elvis Presley.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.